Hey, welcome to a Friday fireside chat. Back in front of the fire. If you're a loyal follower of these Friday videos, it's been a while, but I am back and pretty excited to talk about this because I do get it and I understand. I'm not offended by it. But a lot of times when I sit here and say, free information is not really free. Free information, it works, but it's definitely a very overwhelming and cumbersome and heavy problem to have. I do understand when people are like, Clay, you're just saying that because you sell training programs. That's the only reason you say that. But now I have some actual science to back up why this is actually the case. And none of this is shocking when you actually stop and think about it, but it's pretty much what I've been trying to say and why. No, it's really not a sales pitch. It's very fact of the matter. And like I said, now we have science to back it up. And it really does, the science. Now, sure, this article I'm going to talk about is not about trading per se, but the idea definitely fits into why. Because I always use this, when you stop and think about it, if trading really was as easy as using free information, then why do only 10% of people actually succeed? Wouldn't you think at least half of people would succeed if you have all this free information out there and all these resources? If it's all free and you have all this stuff, wouldn't success rates be at least a little bit higher? But that's actually very counterproductive, as we're going to get into this article here. So the name of this article, and we'll put up is I've been a millennial therapist for more than 5 years, and this is their number one complaint. And in that upper left-hand column, you see science of success. So this is all based on science and actual research. And there's actually a research study in here. Now, before I go any further, though, this is not like I'm not looking down on millennials. This actually has nothing to do with millennials at all. It just happens to be, it does have to do with millennials because this is the age that they're growing up in terms of information, all of that. But this is not me going to saying anything negative about millennials at all. But more so kind of what is being explained here. So let's look at how the article opens up. So the article goes through its introduction and all that sort of stuff. And then it gets to this part. But the complaint they bring up the most: I have too many choices and I can't decide what to do. What if I make the wrong choice? Yes, decision fatigue is a real thing, especially in today's world where we are overloaded with information and have an immense pressure to succeed. So think about that. Overloaded with information and pressure to succeed. If you don't think that there's pressure in the world of trading, you've never traded before, because the mental taxation, the mental pressure, it's real. Trading, you have to learn to control your mind. Control it from what exactly? From all the pressures that show up. Pressures of greed, pressures of fear, pressures of frustration, pressures of overconfidence, pressures of underconfidence, pressure. It's all right there. So if you don't think that there's pressure in trading, then like I said, I'm pretty sure you've just actually never put real money on the line. Now maybe you've paper traded, but there's a big difference between fake money and then real money that you've worked hard to earn. So think about that. All the number one complaint, so many choices, and you have all this pressure to succeed. Well, that's what going the free route is, right? You have a pressure to succeed. There's lots of pressure associated with trading, as I've just established. And then, there sure is a lot of information out there, isn't there? Social media, blogs, YouTube, the library, Amazon and the books, information all over the place. But let's keep on going with the article. While having an abundance of choices might sound appealing, studies, and that actually, you can see it's a different color, it links to a scientific study, have found that it often causes us to feel stressed and overwhelmed. So let's apply this to trading. So much information, as science says, is going to make us feel stressed, feel overwhelmed. So we have stressed and the feeling of overwhelmed meeting up with what? With more pressure, with more stress. That doesn't seem like a very good combination. And it's no wonder why failure rates are what they are, because I get it. Odds are you're watching this saying, no, you're a scam artist, Clay. You just want me to buy your stuff. I'm never going to buy your stuff because all this stuff is for free. That's fine. keep on going. But if you think that when you're new and you don't know what you don't know and you have all this information, if you don't feel at least a little bit of pressure and a little bit of concern and a little bit of stress in the sense of, I hope what I'm learning is actually what I should be learning, because let's face it, there's lots of bad information out there. Now, I'd be a liar. It's not all bad information. That'd be totally false. But, if you're not having that stress of and not questioning, is this information actually what it should be? Is this actually accurate? Then you're ignorant. You're not actually being very wise about how you're going about your learning process, because that needs to be a question within this day and age of information everywhere. So because you have that stress of, I don't even know if this is actually right, that's stress, and that's, that's going to build up, and you should be feeling a little bit of overwhelm because, yeah, there's stuff everywhere. But then you're combining that with the actual pressures that come from trading. That's a nasty, nasty collision. So this article goes on and it says, you know what? Here's how you can kind of deal with some of these. And I'll actually link the article down below because it's an interesting article. And like I said, you can go and read that study. I read that. It's from 2009, I think, if I remember, or maybe 2008. But like I said, I'll put the article below. But then he makes a suggestion, and this actually fit in perfectly. And I wish I could say I was this smart to have aligned these vlogs up the way I did, but I just stumbled across this article not that long ago. But for those of you that watch, and I'll link it down below, I talk about the S word. The S word being soon. I'll do it soon. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Look at what this professional psychologist says needs to be done in order to just kind of help get past all of this. I love it. Number 4, make a decision. It may take some time to figure out what you want your next move to be. Don't rush yourself. But at the same time, don't spend too much time obsessing over your choices. It may even help to talk things through with somebody or ask for a different perspective. Just be careful not to accept blind advice. Once you've made a decision, be prepared for the possible outcomes. Make a plan for what to do if things don't turn out the way you expected them to. Now, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but I am going to pat myself on the back here because if you are a longer time listener of the Clay Trader Mal videos, of these values, you've heard me say time and time again, listen, don't take me at face value. I am a stranger to you. Or in other words, don't blindly follow what I'm saying. Even with this video, don't blindly follow. Now, I'd encourage you, and that's why I offer so much free information out there in the podcast and all that other stuff so that you can get to know me better. But if this is like the first video you've ever watched, then take what I say at a very, very surface deep. Do not blindly follow you. Like this person says, don't follow blind advice. Now, I commend you, and I'm flattered and honored that you're taking time to watch my video, but don't go out blindly. Look at your choices. But when you figure out a choice, make a decision. I can't stand it. And this is what prompted that video from a couple weeks ago about the S word, soon, soon. People go through, Clay, I've been watching your stuff for a long time. I love it. I've compared you with, this person, that person, and that person. And, I love your stuff. And I think I'm going to go with you. And it's just a situation where it's like, what do you mean you think? First off, thank you. I'm glad you like my stuff. Second off, well done. You've gone out there and you've looked around. You've done some comparisons. Great. But what do you need to think about? Make a decision. You just got to make a decision at some point. And I did that, when I got into the real estate investing, I can't remember the number. It was like right around $4,500 I invested into my real estate education. But I went and I researched, okay, this person offers that. How do I feel about this person? Do I enjoy that person's teaching style? Do I feel like they could explain stuff to me? And after I determined that, again, I guess to pat myself, I made a decision. All right, I'm going with them. Boom. And I just jumped in and I did it. But all this soon, I'll think about it. Tomorrow, I'll do it next week. I'll do it on Friday. You got to make a decision and you got to do it. But to bring this full circle here, yeah, at the end of the day, when you actually are honest with yourself and just stop and think about it, let me ask you a question. If you're newer and if you're struggling, or maybe you're not new, maybe you've been trying to learn and trying to study for several months now, and you feel like you're just getting random results, you're not really seeing any growth, you can tell, like I said, if you're truly being honest with yourself, you can tell that something is off. I mean, not my opinion. Science says that the thing that's probably off is you're just way overwhelmed. So much information out there coming at you from all directions. Is this good information? Even if it is good, what order should I learn the information in? I mean, really, actually, according to science, it's not your fault. It's just you're a human being. You can only take so much information, and when it's not structured in a step by step way, then yeah, it would make sense for you to just start to feel stressed and overwhelmed about it. So I mean, like I said, I would love for you to come and say, you know what, you're right. I want structured learning, Clay. I'm going with you. Awesome, let's go. But if you like somebody else's style better in terms of teaching and explaining things, if you feel like somebody else can get you to where you want to go, then make a decision and go with them. Sucks for me, but I respect that. And I respect the fact that you're actually finally making a decision and you're gonna just put an end to being overwhelmed with all this stuff. Because that's the only way you're ever gonna get anywhere. Because if it really was just as easy as free, now you can do it with free, but it costs, so much more when you don't know what you don't know. And the headaches and the stress, it can become a very nasty situation. But I found this quite interesting. And, one of those things where, if you're just sick and tired of feeling like something's off, if you're sick and tired, as weird as it sounds, of all the free stuff out there because it's just overwhelming you, then definitely check out the program I have to offer, the Trading Freedom Pathway. I'll put a link down below. But like I said, if you're more comfortable with somebody else, that's totally cool too. I commend you for just finally realizing and admitting to yourself that maybe you do need some structure. And then I really commend you for getting out there and making a decision. But like I said, I'll put a link down to my program down below. But whatever you decide, I wish you all the best. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.